Hey, good morning. Man, looking rough this morning, huh? It is what it is. Hope everybody's having a great morning wherever they are. Let me get this where I want it. Looks pretty good. A little stuffed up. Big honkin' zit right here. Off to a rough start this morning. That's all right. We're also running late. Hey, Alejandro. Good morning, sir. Glad you could make it. So, today I'm going to be talking about 5 golden rules for achieving your goals. And one of the reasons why I want to do that is I was talking to somebody the other day, and their comment was, I've got so much to do that I don't know where to start. And it just kind of struck me as like, and I totally get it. I know where they're coming from because I had to go through it too. It's like if there was only like, hey Brian, thanks for joining us. If there was only like a Siri for your health and wellness that could just like, give you a roadmap, like a GPS to get you where you wanted to go. I mean, it works pretty good getting to the grocery store. It works pretty good getting to the liquor store or something. But if there was only like a Siri GPS or something like a Google Maps that would just map out your life so that you could, never fall off track. But such a thing doesn't exist, or if it did exist, it's probably doesn't do exactly what you need it to do anyway. So that's what we're going to talk about today, about setting goals and the top 5 things that the top 5 golden rules, my golden rules, and they're your golden rules too. These top 5 golden rules are really simple. That's why it works, okay? Some of you got a lot of new members. I thought maybe I would do a little backstory for you. Why you should listen to me, I don't know. Why you should listen to me? I used to be I still am a lifelong martial artist. Used to be a MMA trainer, self-defense instructor, all that good stuff in California. And I had a fight team, fighting all up and down the West Coast. People would fly me out to teach seminars and stuff. I'm not a big name guy or anything, just a guy carving out his niche, carving out his little section of the world. But one day I was starting to have problems sleeping. I was like gurgling at night, and so one day it just got to where even laying down during the day, if I wasn't sitting up completely straight, I could hear like fluid in my lungs. Went to the doctor, and they said, you're going to the hospital right now. There's something wrong with your heart. Long story short, the problem with my ejection fraction, the part of the heart that ejects the blood back into the bloodstream, is lower than normal. Long story short, turns out this was probably brought on by long-term sleep apnea. So, sidetracked. Talking to somebody the other day, I want to get this out before I forget about it. They said, people, I've been told that I have sleep apnea. I wake up in the middle of the night gasping for air. And I was like, dude, you got to go get it checked out, because the doctors do believe that it led to the problem with my heart. You imagine, I was waking up 65 times an hour. So that's more than once a minute. What is that, every 47 seconds, something like that? So if that's happening, that being violently shaken awake, you know, that many times in the middle of the night is not good for the heart. So anyway, back to the story. So then, so sleep apnea, heart problem, and then that all led to extremely low testosterone. So I ballooned up nearly 300 pounds. So I had to reassess everything. I had to create new goals. I went a long time being fat, laying on the couch, waiting to die, because the sleep apnea still wasn't being addressed. I was just dealing with a heart problem, low testosterone. And then when you start getting treatment for all of those things, hey, Dennis, one of my old buddies that used to punch me in the face. Thanks for joining me, dude. So anyway, getting the help that I needed for the heart problem and the sleep apnea and then the low testosterone. When you're that sick, guys, you don't just jump out of bed and go do a marathon or a Tough Mudder the next day. So it was a long recovery process, and I had to, you know, basically I had to use the techniques and the coaching skills that I'd been using on, you know, fighters and, you know, personal training people. I had to use it all on myself, and I had to figure out a way that made it work for me. And the one thing that has worked more than anything is properly setting goals. I think I would be willing to bet, this is just my personal thoughts on the thing, I'd be willing to bet that 99 out of 100 people who decide they're gonna get back in shape, change their lifestyle, everything, just jump in, and they don't take the time to sit down and just figure out exactly what it is they need to do. Hey buddy, what's up? What's up? You want to be on TV? Huh? You want to be on TV? Hi. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to talk about today. The 5 golden rules to achieving your health and fitness goals. Really, there are 5 golden rules to achieve any goals, whether it be financial or relationship goals, anything. So if you hear him groan, he's an old man like us. So all right, so I'm just going to go into it. Number 1 is you have to set goals. Here's what you've always heard: set goals that motivate you. Well, I want you to set goals that inspire you, because motivation is bullshit. Okay? Motivation is an external influence. That's, you know, dude, me talking to you right now, that could be motivation. And I'm not saying you don't need that, because you do. What I'm saying is, if the only gumption you get is from an external source, you're going to rely on it. And the moment it's not there is an opportunity for you to backslide. So you have to figure out, as I like to say, you have to figure out why you want to achieve what it is you want to achieve. And that's maybe that can be a long discussion for another time. But the why, under your why, is really important. You say, I want to lose 20 pounds. Well, why? Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? And you have an answer. It's like, well, why is that important to you? And why is that important? Why is that? So you just kind of keep drilling down until you get to exactly why it is that you want to lose 20 pounds. And now you've got something deeper than, you know, I just want to lose 20 pounds and not knowing any more than that. Now you've got something deeper, and you have a reason, an inspiration. You know, you can inspire yourself to stay on track. If you're just looking for people to pep talk you and rah 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 and get you motivated, get you moving every day, Pretty soon, I mean, let's be honest. Have you ever been around an obnoxiously positive person? Right? Shit gets old. All right? I'm not positive all the time. I'm not I'm not negative all the time either, but I'm not positive all the time. I'm not happy all the time. I'm not motivated all the time, but I'm inspired to achieve what it is I want to get done. And that's the difference. Inspiration, you can work through whatever the fuck is making you stop if you're inspired. If you're only motivated or being motivated from an external source, you can turn that shit off. And so that's why I think you inspire yourself instead of motivate yourself. Okay, so that's number one. Set goals that inspire you, not motivate you. Number two, you want to set SMART goals. SMART, S-M-A-R-T. The letters break down. I made some notes here. The letters break down. And by the way, you'll be able to download this later in Keith's data dump. The link is in the description. Excuse me. So SMART, S stands for specific. You have to be specific in your goals. You need to know exactly what it is you want to achieve. So that's S. M is your goals have to be measurable. It has to be something that when you achieve it, you know that you've achieved it. It can't be by accident. It can't be by feeling. It has to be something that you can measure. It's easy to measure your weight. It's easy to take an inventory of your stuff. It's easy to check your bank account balance. It needs to be measurable. If it's not something that you can measure, it's less tangible for you to achieve it. Okay. A, attainable. Has to be something that you can actually do. I want to lose 150 pounds in 3 months. Unattainable. Okay. But can you lose 10 pounds in 3 months? Well, hell yeah, you can do that. That's actually pretty easy. Okay. So it has to be attainable. Now we're up to R. R, it has to be relevant. Now what does that mean? Relevant means that it has to be something that is in line with the person that you want to be. If your goals are all over the place, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to buy a Corvette. I want to be, I want to be a rock star. If your goals are all over the place and maybe not relevant to the person you are now or the person you want to be, chances are you'll fall short on reaching those goals. Okay. And then we're up to T, and that is timely. It has to be time-based, and it has to be something you can achieve in a relatively short period of time. The reason I say a relatively short period of time is like, well, Keith, I've got 60 pounds to lose. Good for you. I'm excited that you want to lose 60 pounds. Let's start with 5. Okay? Let's start with 5. The reason why I want it to be timely and short is because it's hard to stay focused that long on something so daunting as that much. Hey Jeffrey, thanks for joining us this morning, buddy. So if you set smaller goals, and we'll talk about this in a second, that you can achieve more easily and quickly, that will inspire you or motivate you, whatever it takes. It will inspire you to keep going and reach that next goal and reach that next goal. Okay, so that's why. So SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Okay. Now, number 3. This is a big one. This will take 5 minutes, but it's like the 5 minutes that nobody does. Okay, just write it down. Writing down your goals tends to make it real. Okay, oh, I wrote that down. That came out of me. That's something I want to achieve. It's now It's now tangible. It's real. It's tangible. It's something other than a thought. It's something on paper. Keep it somewhere where you can see it every once in a while. But it's something that you can achieve now rather than something that you're just thinking about. Okay, that's a really important step. It takes less than 5. Take 60 seconds to write down your goals and have them on a sheet of paper somewhere where you can see them. It's so stupid that you think it won't work, but it really does. It really does. It really works. It's a really important step. And unfortunately, 99.9999% of the people who are trying to achieve some goals don't do it. So that's number 3. Write it down. Number 4, make an action plan. This is that Siri roadmap, that Google map I was talking about. If you want to lose 10 pounds, if you want to lose 20 pounds, if you want to lose 100 pounds, you need to have an action plan. You need to research it. You need to, you know what, put this on paper too. The bigger the long-term goal, the more action steps you need. You need to, for example, if you want to lose 20 pounds, we need to break that up into small, actionable steps. I can't lose 20 pounds overnight. Can I change the way I eat overnight? Yes, I can. Can I not eat like shit one meal every day? Yes, I can do that. Good. That's a step. That's an actionable step. Let's do that. Okay? So I've done that for a couple of days. What's something else I can do? Well, I only drink about 8 ounces of water a day. Can I drink 30 ounces of water? Maybe not. Okay, how about 20? Can I drink 20 ounces of water? Yeah, you bet your ass I can drink 20 ounces of water. Let's write that down. Let's make that an action step. You need to have a roadmap for your success. Anywhere you're going in life, whether it be jumping in the car and going to the post office, or losing 20 pounds, or quitting drinking, or whatever, you have to have a roadmap to get you there. And that's what your action plan is. Break up your goal into small, actionable steps that you can achieve little by little, and before you know it, you'll have reached that goal. It's a really important step, and people don't do that one either. That's why these are the 5 golden rules, people. Okay, and number 5, this is the last one. You got to anchor your goals. Now, what do I mean by that? Remember that piece of paper that you wrote down your goals on? That's great to have around, but you have to have things in your physical environment that remind you of why it's important for you to achieve your goal. It can be anything. From my experiences of working with different people, I've noticed that dudes gravitate more towards things, and women tend to gravitate more towards, like, sounds, smells, those types of things. So for guys, like, the first thing I always tell them is, like, go out and get those little bitty Post-it notes, the little ones, the little square ones, and just write down your goal for the day. Write it down and just leave it all over the place. Put it on the dash of your car, put it on your briefcase, put it on your computer screen, put it everywhere, so there's something physically in your space that's reminding you of why losing 20 pounds is important to you. Music can be a good, why is it important to achieve your goals? Have that perfect workout song. Help you remember why it's important to you. Just anything that you could put in your physical space that can remind you. Here's a good one. I was working with a client the other day. I don't know if all phones can do this. For a smartphone, I've only ever had an iPhone. Yeah, I'm one of those people. But on the iPhone, you can set alarms. You can set as many alarms as you want. And I told the fella, look, Set an alarm once an hour or every couple hours. Set an alarm to tell you, hey, you're doing great, or don't forget this is your goal, or whatever. And I've done that with a couple of people I've worked with, and to great success. Sometimes writing little post-it notes all over the place is not feasible, but having a little alarm on your phone to remind you of why something is so important to you, to keep you motivated. That would be motivation, to keep you motivated, keep you moving in the right direction. Hey Dale, hey JC, thanks for joining me this morning. We're just about wrapping things up, but I'm going to go through the list one more time, and then we're going to call it a day. The 5 golden rules for achieving the health and fitness goals that are important to you, that you want to achieve. Start with number 1. Set goals that inspire you, not motivate. Motivation is an external. It's coming in from outside. Inspiration, that's in here, that's in here. That's something that you can hang on to. Once motivation runs out, you can remove yourself from motivation. It's harder to remove yourself from inspiration, okay? So set goals that inspire you. Number 2, set SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely goals, okay? Number 3, you need to write it down. Doesn't have to be the chapter of a book. It can just be a couple of lines, but you need to write down your goals because it makes it relevant and real and tangible, okay? Then number 4, make an action step. Take your goal, make an action plan. Take your goal and break it up into small, actionable steps that are easier to achieve. One of the main reasons why this works so well is because losing 50 pounds is a daunting task. Achieving wealth is a daunting whatever it is. So if you break it up into smaller steps, it's easier to stay on track, because you go, okay, well, I want to lose 50 pounds. Can I lose 2 pounds in 3 weeks? Yeah, I think I can. So 3 weeks comes and you've lost those 2 pounds. You go, yeah, kick ass. I have achieved one of my goals, one of my many goals. I've achieved it. So now there's some inspiration, there's some motivation to continue. The more you achieve, the more addicted you get to success, I guess I should say. And so if you set small achievable goals, set small actionable steps to achieve those goals, then man, you're going to be off to the races, okay? So that's number 4. And then number 5, anchor those goals. Just talked about that, having something in your physical environment to draw your attention away from all the negative shit and help you focus on what it is you want to achieve. That's the 5 steps, the 5 golden rules to make sure that you're achieving your fitness and your health goals. So what happens next? You're going to go to Keith's data dump. The link is in the post here, and you can download this. I did like a little 1-page that you can download and keep for your stuff. The other thing, the most important part of any of this is understanding why you want to achieve what it is you want to achieve. Without that, I'm not going to say that you will fail, but it's harder to succeed if you don't